Ever since its launch, the Honda City really has been the top dog in the mid-size segment. In fact, this car really is the king of its segment. And this, in fact, is all the car that you'll really ever need. But the big question that the Maruti Ciaz is posing to it is that is this still a car that you want? Well, we're going to find out which one is king on the show today. Well, no two cars are more similar or so closely matched to each other than the Maruti Ciaz and the Honda City. In fact, from the back end, it's really difficult to tell which one is which if you hide the badges. While the City has been in the market for about a year, it still looks premium, upmarket and very posh. And really, those sleek looks have been a big part of this car's success story. But the new Maruti Ciaz looks no less. It is a long car, in fact the longest in this segment, and this is clearly visible when you see it from the side. Both these cars though look very well proportioned and well balanced, and even though the Ciaz looks a lot bigger on the outside compared to the City, when you get inside, these cars are more evenly matched than you could imagine. Well, the only thing familiar about the Ciaz's cabin is this steering wheel. It is exactly the same one which Maruti has used in the Swift and the Dzire and some other cars in that range. But cabin quality is absolutely brilliant. Car buyers are going to love this car because it comes really loaded. You of course get the obligatory start-stop button and the smart key. You also get projector headlamp and the obligatory automatic climate control as well. Well, not only is it a very high quality cabin, it's also a very practical place to be in. You of course get this tray over here where you can put your cell phone at. You get two cup holders over here right in front of the driver. There's also a very small box over here where you can of course put that key in. And the door bins are wide enough to house those 1 liter bottles at. And there's also a place to keep some change for that toll. Well, the glove box is also pretty big and you can actually house that 1 liter bottle over here. So overall a great place for practicality. So here I am inside the front seats now of the Honda City. It really does look very posh and upmarket, and in fact you do feel like you're sitting inside a much more premium car and you've actually spent more money than what the cost of this car really is. So full marks to the Honda team in terms of the design. Quality levels are good, in fact they're pretty decent, but the lower end of the dashboard isn't really made from top-notch materials, and the Ciaz definitely has the edge in terms of overall plastic qualities inside the cabin. Well, in terms of practicality, the City's front seats are good on practicality. You get big bottle holders in the door bins, and you also get two cup holders right over here in front of the driver and the passenger. There's also this handy box right next to the driver where you can of course put your wallet and the cell phone. There's a bit of a tray over here as well. Well, this of course is the top of the line version, so you get the obligatory goodies like start-stop button, automatic climate control, Bluetooth connectivity for the stereo, as well as cruise control. Maruti have done a fantastic job in terms of rear seat comfort. This really is one of those cars where you can be chauffeur driven without any fuss at all. And as you can see, legroom is very generous. In fact, I don't remember the last time I was in a position to stretch my legs in a mid-size segment car. Headroom is also pretty good, and the quality of material is very good. The door bins are very useful as well. They can actually house 1 liter bottles in them, and you also get central armrest at the back as well as AC vents. Well, the other plus point about the Ciaz's cabin really is this flattish floor panel, which really means that whoever's sitting in the middle won't have to struggle for legroom when he sits here. Well, I'm inside the Honda City's rear seats now, and as you can see, headroom is pretty generous. Legroom is pretty good as well, and I've adjusted the front seat to my height, which for reference is 5'10", and even then I've got ample space to really stretch out my legs at. Well, the Ciaz definitely offers a little more legroom than the Honda City, but to be honest, I mean, do you need more legroom than this? You really don't, because how much are you going to stretch out at? I mean, you don't really, to be honest. But in terms of seat comfort, the rear seats are really comfortable. They offer very good under thigh support. The backrest angle is very good as well, and there's good support from the back as well for those long journeys. They're very comfortable and cushiony seats, and it's a very flattish floor panel below, so whoever's sitting here in the middle seats has a good place to keep his feet at around it. And you also get the obligatory AC vents. Now this is a feature which most car makers in this segment are offering. Well, Maruti seems to have really done their homework very well on the Ciaz, they know that customers in the mid-size segment want a car with a big boot. Well, at 510 liters of capacity, this is one of the biggest boots, not only in this segment, but it can actually trump a lot of cars a segment higher. And it's a really deep boot. It goes all the way to the backrest of the back seats, which means that you can really haul in a lot of luggage, a lot of cargo in this car. Great job by Maruti in terms of boot space on the Ciaz. Well, in terms of boot capacity, there's very little to choose between both these cars because both offer exactly the same amount of loading ability. Both have 510 liters of space inside them, and they're very similarly shaped. Even the Honda City, which I have right now, is wide enough to load in that heavy luggage or those wide golf bags, and it's pretty deep as well. There is a bit of a loading lip, but you can forgive it because it is a very usable and deep boot. So one of the best cars in its segment. So in the overall analysis, who wins? Well, no one. It's a draw between the Ciaz and the Honda City because both of them can actually load the same amount of space. Well, we're driving the diesel version of the Ciaz now, and this is of course the 1.3 litre DDIS engine. This is the same unit which goes into the Ertiga. It develops about 89 bhp of power. This one takes a little while to get going. You have to cross that 2000 RPM mark. But once you cross that 2000 RPM mark, performance is really blistering. It's really quick. Well, Maruti really is the master when it comes to ride and handling. Well, the ride quality both in city and on the highway is very, very comfortable. It really soaks in the bumps at slow city speeds. And when you are on the highway, it really manages to keep most potholes and bad road surfaces out. And it's also very stable and doesn't give you any nervous feeling when you push it beyond speeds of 100 kph. The handling is very sure-footed, and as speeds increase, it feels very stable on the highway. The steering is light in the city, but again, not so light that it'll make you feel nervous when you step out on the highway. Well, the Ciaz comes with a 5-speed manual gearbox, and really, in terms of gear shift quality, it's pretty good, it's pretty slick. Well, where the diesel really excels is, of course, in engine refinement, and this is one area where the Ciaz definitely has the edge over some of its rivals in terms of engine refinement and low noise levels inside the cabin. Well, the Honda City comes with a 1.5 litre ID Tech engine which develops 100 bhp of power. This engine, of course, is bigger than the Ciaz as well as more powerful. But the only issue with this engine, and actually the only major chink in the solid armory of the Honda City, is the fact that it's not a very refined engine. Now, when you consider it in isolation, noise levels are decent and you can live with them. It's not a deal breaker. But when you compare it with its rivals, and as we are doing today, this engine feels a lot more buzzier and a lot more louder. And I'll talk about the positives now. This engine feels a lot more responsive than the Ciaz's engine. Around 1500 RPM, it really feels wide and awake, and it really is ready for all your inputs. And in fact, just a little bit of throttle input, it really does propel this car ahead, and that really makes it one of the easiest and nicest cars to drive in stop-go city traffic. Well, where the city really excels is in the fact that this car feels a lot more dynamic than the Ciaz. Well, so if you are planning to take this car to the hills and push it around corners, then this Honda City will not disappoint you because the steering is pretty good on feedback. It offers you consistent feedback, and the suspension and the chassis also are willing to change lanes in a hurry, unlike the Ciaz, which really feels like a slouch in front of this car. Well, the City comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, and the quality of the gear shifts is really good. It's a very slick unit, it's a very positive unit. Well, when it comes to high-speed manners, the City feels very stable, it feels really planted. Well, in terms of fuel economy, there's very little to choose between both these cars. The Honda City delivers 26 kpl, whereas the Ciaz delivers just a little more with 26.21. Well, so in the overall analysis, the Honda City still has the edge over the Ciaz. The Ciaz might offer more space inside the cabin and better quality plastics, but that said, the Honda City diesel feels much more dynamic to drive and much more responsive, as well as offers a much more premium and upmarket feel to its cabin, making this car the winner of this comparison. And all that means that my original statement at the start of this show still holds true. This is all the mid-size car that you will ever really need. Well, and if you want to know more about this car and its rivals, head to our website autoportal.com. If you want to know how it compares with its other rival, the Hyundai Verna, click on this link below to see the video comparison of those two cars. And of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking on this link above. It's bye for now and hope to see you soon.